All right, so as you guys know already, we just finished up a majority of the work on the piston. Not done yet. There is still some more finishing work. Kind of talked about it before, how I need to get some sandpaper, go through, finish filing down the edges. I'm actually going to be taking this somewhere as well. We'll discuss that a little bit towards the end, but I'm excited to try something new. I haven't done it before, but I have a majority of the equipment that I would need to be able to do the work. So to me, it seems like it's going to be fairly simple enough. Not only am I doing work to this, but I'm also doing some work to the head. But again, we'll talk about that at the end. But other than that, Mother Nature has decided to pay us a visit. So as you can see, it is again snowing outside. We just got like 16 inches of snow not too long ago, and here we are with another like 5 to 8 inches of snow. So, needless to say, still a lot of cold weather out there, and my little garage heater is doing its best to keep up. I want to say like this weekend's supposed to be like the coldest weekend that will have gotten this entire winter so far, and I think wind chills it's supposed to be like -20 or -25 or something like that. But either way, it's not too bad in the garage. Um, so we are going to continue with the billet block. We'll go through and start cleaning that up. So I'll go ahead and get you set up, and we'll probably talk through a little bit of it and time lapse it so that you guys don't have to sit there and watch the entire process, at least not in real time. So, be right back. All right, everybody. This is going to be the start. Round one, so to speak. I know this looks a little ridiculous. I don't have any painter's tape or anything like that, but the goal here is to go through today and clean up these valve reliefs and do some chamfering on the piston skirt, right? We don't want any kind of stress risers, right? So these hard angles and everything else, right? These are areas where they're very prone to high amounts of stress, especially these valve reliefs specifically, right? So by rounding the edges on here, we help alleviate that, and then hopefully it doesn't hold on to any kind of heat or anything like that, and we don't get any kind of hot spots within the piston itself, right? So it's kind of the main goal. That's why we're doing it to this. That's why we're doing it to the billet block itself. Just taping it on actually kind of diced up some of my nails, so that wasn't very fun. Kind of lead to the importance of why we're doing this. So this is going to probably be loud, so chances are I'll just cut the audio and maybe do a little bit of a voiceover later on. So that's what we're going to do. Dremel here. I've got some higher grit sandpaper as well, and we're going to come in, clean these channels up, these reliefs, and like I said, going to clean up the skirt and everything else and see what we can do to soften up some of these edges. You can see some of this is beveled, right? But here, you can kind of hear it, right? Scrape it against my finger. So with that being said, let's get right to it. So
Okay, so as you can see, we are obviously taking our time. You can see I use duct tape. We talked about that a little bit before, but there are other options. If you want to use painter's tape, that's more than acceptable as well. I like to use duct tape. This is mainly because of the fact that duct tape is a lot thicker, and when you're talking about the surface of areas where it matters, it might help out quite a bit when it comes to absorbing impact. One thing that I will tell you is that obviously we're using a Dremel here, but following up with sandpaper works great. Sometimes there's areas that are kind of hard and challenging to get to, and it's easier to just use sandpaper to really clean up those fine areas and details.
all right, it's as simple as that. So got all the corners rounded off. Everything feels nice and smooth. I'm gonna go back with some finer grit sandpaper. I'm just kind of hand sand these edges now, and that should be pretty much it. Significantly better to the touch, and hopefully that'll help it not have any issues. So, um, anyways, step one is done, and now it's going to be onto the block. But when I come back to that, I'll combine that with this video, and we'll put them both in the same time. All right, so going to go ahead and throw on some breathing protection here. Breathing aluminum, not good, not a good idea. So don't do it, people. Get a mask on. It's important to take care of yourselves, and of course, eye protection. So chances are you're not going to hear me, but that's not a problem. I'll just do a voiceover if there's anything important, and for now, we'll just get to it.
As you can see here, this process is very similar to what you guys just saw. Using the same tools and techniques, we're just going through, cleaning up all the edges. You can see as I'm going through and doing it, that nice shiny bevel that's being pushed or created right on the edges there to help really smooth things out. This was pretty simple, but there were definitely some challenging areas. The cam chain area was extremely difficult. I wouldn't say extremely. It was hard to maneuver the tools around that I had, and you'll see a little bit later on how I went about dealing with it, but in hindsight, sandpaper would have did it fairly easily. Getting around the jug for the cylinder itself is what was causing a lot of the heartache and delayed things quite a bit because of that. But even these fins weren't too bad at all. It just was a little bit time consuming, and went through, really cleaned up all those edges nice and good. After that, there's a couple of channels to deal with. I've got the coolant channel, and I even cleaned up some of the bolt holes that are on there as well. In the end of this video, I kind of actually talk about some of the sanding work that I ended up doing as well, and kind of go a little more into detail. But overall, super happy with how it came out. Just takes a little bit of time and effort, and just paying attention and making sure that you're not putting any weird scars in areas where they don't need to be.
All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, I don't have that sandpaper. Just kind of waiting for that to come in. But when it does get here, I'll go through and I can start working on rounding these out a little bit more. So a lot of what I did was more of like, material cutting, things like that, to try to really get down that sharp edge. Once sandpaper comes in, then I'm going to go through and definitely polish them all out and clean them up as much as I could. I did have, I'm sure you saw it in the video, the Dremel did get away from me for a little bit. I just had this tiny little right there. It's not super deep, but I'm not super worried about it, to be honest. It's in that area. I mean, it's not going to cause any issues, right? Nothing high pressure goes through there or anything like that. That's literally just where the cam chain, or the cam chain, yeah, I said that right. Cam chain goes through there. And oil return, but it's not under pressure. It's just kind of gravity drains down to the down to the bottom of the engine case. So it's not anything too serious. So if anything, I might like maybe put a little bit of sealant in there or something like that just in case, but it's not super deep or anything. But it won't be a big deal, I don't think. So the only question I have is, what do you guys think? Should I paint this, or should I clean it up and clear coat it and just leave it as billet? I'm kind of thinking about just leaving it as billet, but I kind of want to see what you guys think. So on to what I'm planning to do or want to do. I'm kind of working on that, just doing some more research on it. And this part I'm kind of excited about, but I can do something here. Right in here, there's a coating that you can get. It's called Glyptal coating. And I don't know, I may not do it here just because the surface is already kind of really smooth, but Glyptal coating especially works really well with like cast aluminum, metal that's very porous. and that essentially is going to create a, I guess you could kind of say like a hydrophobic layer. It's been used all throughout the racing industry for a long time, and smooths out that cast cylinder, makes it to where you don't have as much stiction, so to speak, with the oil, because obviously with these bikes being that they're 15W50, that's really thick oil, right? And the big thing we want is to make sure that oil makes it to the top and then back down to the bottom as quickly as possible. Um, so I'm gonna do some Glyptal coating in the head itself. So that part's cool, but it's gonna be a multi-step process, because with that I'm also looking at Cerakoting, and Cerakote actually has there's two different versions. There's a like the bake-in kind where you need an oven, and I originally thought that you have to use like really high temperatures, but you only have to bake it up to 300 degrees for like an hour. And you know, I have a powder coating set up, so that would be really easy. So I'm looking at that. But the other one is a um, air drive formula. I think it takes like 24 hours to cure, or air curing formula. It takes like 24 hours to cure. You'll go through basically paint it on there. And when I've been looking online, you do it in like multiple layers or something like that. But people do it at the top of pistons all the time, especially billet pistons. Now, I'm gonna have to send this somewhere, like some kind of a shop that's got a sandblaster. I don't have one. You need something for the material to stick on, and so somewhere where they can hit the top of the piston with a sandblaster, rough it up quite a bit, because obviously this is billet, and then I can ceramic coat the top of this, being that it's billet, and I'm hoping to kind of prevent this from absorbing as much heat. Maybe it deflects some of that back upward. If that makes sense. I don't know. There's a lot of information about it online, so that's the goal that I plan on doing. I'm gonna ceramic coat the top of this, and then you can do like your combustion chamber. You can do the tops of your valves, and then you can also do. Did I say ceramic coat? Cerakote. I'm gonna Cerakote it, which is apparently good up to like 1800 degrees. So that's good. So I'll Cerakote the top of the piston. I'm going to Cerakote the combustion chamber, the top of the valves, and then I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do. Uh, I'm debating if I want to do the intake and exhaust ports. Um, doing some more research on that. I've seen pictures online where people have done it. I may end up going that route, and then depending if I have any left over, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do my header pipe as well while I'm at it. I don't know if it's going to fit in my oven. Maybe. I mean, it's pretty big. I've gotten entire brake calipers in there, so I suppose it would fit. I just have to kind of bend some wire to make it work. But I think that's going to be our best bet for thermal management, and trying to make sure that it has its best chance of maintaining itself. I think the biggest problem, at least from what I've kind of been seeing, is a lot of it's kind of heat related stuff with the bike going lean. So anything we can to combat that and fight all that stuff off, it's only going to be a benefit. So um, obviously that means it's going to take some time. This is not I'm sure some of you were thinking that it was going to be quick. This is not going to be a quick process. Not if we're going to do it right. So hopefully won't take a super long time. That's not, the goal is to get all this done and hopefully rideable by summer, but some things have to kind of happen, right? So I don't actually even know if there's a place around here that does sandblasting. So I'll have to do some research on that. And then the Cerakoting stuff. I guess if I can find a sandblaster, I'll do the Cerakoting myself. Um, if I can find one around here. I kind of looked around to see if there was a place that did Cerakoting around here, and to no surprise, the only thing that really showed up were gun stores, because that's what most people use for Cerakoting. But again, that Cerakote does have a line specifically for pistons and valves and everything else. So I feel pretty confident that there's not going to be any major issues and everything like that. So I guess to end this, has anybody here done that before? I mean, have you guys Cerakoted anything internally? Let me know if you've had any issues. I'd be interested to hear if anything blew up or anything weird. But that's what I'm thinking. I think we're going to go that direction. And I guess once that video, well, once this video is, I'll go ahead and put this video out. Sandpaper will come in, probably start working on that. And then I'm going to combine that with probably the Glyptal video. So it'll probably be clean prep. I'll do the head Glyptal, and then at that point, oh, then I guess Cerakoting. Once the Cerakoting stuff is done, then it'll be engine removal, and we'll start working on that. So a few steps, nothing too crazy, right? All right, well, I guess that's it for now. If you got questions, as always, feel free to let me know below.
Real quick, everybody, just for some closure, went ahead and smoothed down these edges all the way around. So these edges are nice and smooth after I Dremeled them. Used some 320 down to 800. So cleaned all these edges up. They're nice and good to go. Even on here, you can see it's got a little bit of a chamfer now. Nice and clean all the way around. No issues, right? It took quite a long time actually because these areas took a lot of work, right? But definitely well worth it. Nice and smooth all the way around. All of these little fins that we have here. I even took the time to clean up the inside of this water port here. And flipping it over to this backside, I did clean this up a little bit more too. It's nice and smooth now. I'll probably just put like a tiny bit of RTV there, and shouldn't be a problem. But all these edges, super clean, nice and smooth all the way around. So block is prepped, ready to go. Piston's prepped, ready to go. Just need to see if I can find a place tomorrow that I can take this to get the top of this piston sandblasted, and then do the Cerakote process. So the Cerakote process is going to be fun. We're going to learn some stuff together because, like I said, I've never done it before, but I have powder coated before, so it looks fairly similar. I have a paint gun, albeit it's a cheap Harbor Freight gun, but shouldn't be that big of a deal. I imagine it's fairly similar. In fact, honestly, it's pretty much the same process, especially since most of the work is all prep work. So I'll have to clean the crap out of this and get it ready to go, and then hopefully get this thing baked in the oven. But yep, that's it. Closing this one out now for sure, for real this time. And then next video should be the Cerakoting process.